Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day. My day has been pretty all right so far. Hope all is doing well for you guys. Today is June 6th. It is a Monday. Hope all of you guys are doing well on this fine Monday, start of the week. Friday is not coming soon, but we'll get there eventually. This is your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. So thank you all for checking this episode out. Drop a subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, with that being said, I'm recording this one a little bit early tonight, so it will probably release about an hour early, maybe a little bit before then. I got a little bit of things to do later this evening, and I had free time for about an hour, so I figured might as well just, do it a little early and clear my time up, if you will. But, news still comes every day, as it does, so let's get right into today's news recap. Moving into the Trump administration segment, per usual, we have a large amount of topics for today. I believe we have around six, and we have a good amount in the other news segment as well. So let's get into it. Trump has ordered ICE to ramp up enforcement in blue cities. Trump has directed ICE officials to expand their efforts in Democratic-run cities. Trump called on ICE to do all in their power to help reach deportation goals. He wrote in a post on Truth Social, "Our nation's ICE officers have shown incredible strength, determination, and courage as they facilitate a very important mission, the largest mass deportation operation of illegal aliens in history. Every day, brave men and women of ICE are subjected to violence, harassment, and even threats from radical Democratic politicians, but nothing will stop us from executing our mission and fulfilling our mandate for the American people. ICE officers are herewith ordered by the notice of this truth to do all in their power to achieve the very important goal of delivering the single largest mass deportation program in history." Because this is a great idea. Let's aggravate more blue cities because it worked so well in LA. I mean, Trump might have less brain cells than a child who hasn't gained consciousness yet if he thinks this is a good idea. And really, I hope they do this. I mean, I really do. If we had protests like LA across the country, we might actually be able to get lawmakers to do more and actually partake in preventing the Trump administration from not only ruining people's lives, but deporting people and so much more. I mean, it's very clear that these deportations are terrible. They not only destroy families and communities, but the economy as well to some degree. It's not good for the United States. So maybe if we get some more LA-sized protests, people will actually start doing more in the House and the Senate, and maybe we'll get some Republican senators to even move over. I mean, I believe we need around two, maybe three Republican senators for the availability to have a chance at impeaching Trump. So, I mean, why not? Let's convince some of those senators or representatives with our protesting in those blue cities. I think it's a wonderful idea, Mr. Trump. Please do so. Um, of course, like with how people are being attacked with tear gas and the rubber rounds and so much more, flashbangs and all that. That's not a great thing. So that is definitely something that would be extremely unfortunate. But I mean, protesting is your right as an American. So I mean, if he's going to expand um, ICE enforcement in these cities, go out and protest. Go out and speak your mind. Speak for what's right. Don't allow Trump to just do what he wants in any little city. Anyways, moving on. Trump has proposed a new rule allowing doctors to refuse VA doctors, my apologies, to refuse treatment to Democrats and unmarried veterans. Doctors at the Veterans Affairs Hospital nationwide could refuse to treat unmarried veterans and Democrats under new hospital guidelines from a Trump executive order. These new rules would apply to psychologists, dentists, and other occupations as well, and have already gone into some effect at some VA centers. Medical staff are still required to treat veterans, but individual workers are now free to decline from helping a patient for however they see fit. Doctors and other medical staff can also be barred from working at the VA due to marital status, political party affiliation, or union activity. This was a hidden order, was hidden in an order that had a primary goal of stripping government protections from trans people, and also, lets the VA doctors, VA nurses, whoever, refuse care to a patient just because of their political party, which is insane. Um, Not only insane, but it's terrifying. This very well could put so many veterans at risk of so many things like homelessness and death, which are already huge problems, and much, much more. I mean, imagine getting blown up at war and being told you're going to die because doctors don't want to help you due to your political party affiliation. That's insane. That's crazy. It really is. I mean, people go and serve the United States. They fight in a war for the United States that arguably doesn't suit their interests. And then they get told because they vote or support a certain party that they're not going to get the care they need. What the fuck is that? Genuinely. Genuinely. We already treat our veterans horribly. And this just adds to it. Like, what are we doing? How are we going to force people to go, or, not draft, or force, but how are we going to send our troops, into the Middle East or into anywhere else for that matter, and then just say, oh, yeah, you can't get the care you need because you voted for Kamala Harris? Are you joking? Is this the United States of America? That doesn't sound like the United States of America. I don't know what country I'm in, but that does not sound like the United States of America. I will tell you that much. I mean, we we truly do need to bring more things to our veterans. We need to provide more facilities, more opportunities. Like, it is very hard to be a veteran in this country, or to come back from war, or to be released from the military, and set yourself up for success, to say the least. And this doesn't help that. It makes it hard for these people not only to get the care they need, but to live their lives, and that's disgusting. Moving in to another topic, as Eric Trump has announced the new Trump phone, which, oh shoot, the Trump administration is launching a new Trump's phone brand service. The company, which is run by his sons, plans to sell gold color smartphones with an American flag engraved in the back for $499. Along with a monthly mobile service costing $47.45, a reference to Trump's two terms. The subscription would be a 5G service called the 47 plan, and claims customers will have access to the same coverage as Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. It would reportedly have unlimited talk, text, and data, and free international calling for more than 100 countries, and will reportedly be released in August. What are you guys' guesses for how long this will last, just like all the rest of the Trump companies? I give it 2 months. I think the worst part about that is people are actually probably going to buy it, especially if Trump gets the phone, which I don't even think Trump would use something like that, but maybe I'm wrong. When I saw this headline, I thought it was fake. And then I saw more people talking about TikTok on it, or talking about it on TikTok. I saw like a ton of videos. So, it's not fake. Unfortunately, it is another one of those Trump companies. And, there's very limited details on it. We don't know which company is partnering with the Trump organization to make this, but it honestly does sound like a bit of a scam. I think, the worst part is people are going to buy it. I already said that, but, there are better phones, better services, and so many other things out there. I couldn't find any articles that talked about it, but I saw a few videos that said it wasn't going to be on the level of Verizon, and it was going to be like on the level of Mint Mobile, which is a $10 a month service. And I heard that the phone was going to be just similar to $100 phones sold in third world countries, which is interesting to say the least. It is most definitely a scam if that is the case. But I couldn't find any reports talking about it, so I don't know if that's true or not. I only saw like 2 TikToks on it, so maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. Not too sure. But overall, I think this is a scam. There are definitely better phones out there. Um, Overall, and there are definitely better phone plans out there overall. Um, I mean, that's kind of just a no-brainer. Anyhow, moving into the final Trump administration segment today, Trump wants Russia or China to join the G7. Trump has suggested both Russia and China should join the G7 at the summit today. Trump said it was a very big mistake to remove Russia after it annexed Crimea in 2014. Trump went on to say, I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in, and you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake, even though I wasn't in politics then. When asked by reporters if China should be added, Trump said, "It's not a bad idea. I don't mind that if somebody wants to see just China coming in." Currently, the G7 is filled with democratic countries, but since 2014, I believe around then, it was after Russia was removed, there have been plans on or ideas on expanding the group to other democratic countries as well, like South Korea, Australia, and I believe there were a few more as well. Of course, that hasn't happened yet, but adding China and Russia would be a big shift from the currently pro-democracy G7. Seemingly, the organization as of late, or as of the past few years, if you will, I guess 10 years now. Wow, I feel old. I just realized that 2014 was 11 years ago. Sorry for all of you guys who have been alive for longer than me, but man, I feel old thinking about that. Holy, how old was I then? 10 years ago? Or 11 years ago now? I guess I would have been 7? Wow. 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 Okay. Anyways, the G7 is currently a pro-democracy group, and I mean, it would be a big shift. Of course, Russia is not a democracy, and even before then wasn't a democracy, although they claim to be a democracy, with Putin technically being elected, even though he just wins every time. It's not the case. So it's definitely interesting, to say the least. Anyhow, moving right on into our other news segment, we have quite a good amount of topics today. All right amount, if you will. First topic we have is a Republican senator is facing resignation calls for making fun of the murder of the Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota. Or murder of Democratic lawmaker, my apologies. Senator Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah, is facing criticism on social media for posts mocking the shootings targeting Minnesota lawmakers. In one post, he claimed suspect Vance Beutler was a Marxist, despite reports of the man being a large conservative that strongly supported Trump and his administration. In another post, he shared images of Beutler saying, "Nightmare on Wall Street," referring to Governor Tim Walz. Multiple people on Twitter called for his resignation, calling the GOP senator garbage and absolutely disgusting. Not only is this unprofessional, but that's insane. To make a joke in a situation where your fellow lawmakers have been killed or harmed is crazy. In what world is it okay for a senator to be doing that? None. A family died, and rather than offering your condolences, you made a joke of it. That's disgusting. You 100% should resign. What are you doing? I mean, your fellow lawmakers died and another one was attacked, and you thought it was a good idea to make a joke about it? Why? Why? What are you doing? What goes through your head to make you think that's a good idea? Huh? Some of these actions between these Republicans, I just genuinely do not understand. How can you get your way into politics, bring yourself so far just to get there and not only be one of the largest groups of insider trading, but actively go against the American people and actively think it's a good idea to make a joke at a situation where your colleagues have been murdered. I mean, that's crazy. It really is. I hope that man never makes it back into office. He should resign. He really should. And if he doesn't, don't vote his ass back in. Please, please do not vote someone like that back in. That person should not be in the United States politics. But anyways, ICE is going broke. I reported on this a while ago, but another report came out, so figured I'd readdress it. ICE is on the verge of financial collapse still, with only three months remaining in the fiscal year, as the agency is already $1 billion over budget and could be out of money as soon as next month, according to Axios. The Department of Homeland Security has been warned by lawmakers that ICE could be in violation of the law if it keeps spending, but, it doesn't seem like that's going to stop anytime soon, especially with Trump saying he wants operations to expand in blue cities. This has been a warning for a while now, and I honestly doubt anything will be done about it, which sucks because something should be done. I don't think if a program is able to afford itself, it should be, running, especially if it's a program like ICE that actively harms the American people and destroys communities and lives. But fortunately, I don't think that will be the case, just because I don't think Trump will allow it, for one. And I mean, I don't think Republican senators would allow it either, unfortunately. Anyhow, a judge has ruled that Trump's cutting of the NIH grants are illegal and saying he's never seen such discrimination. Federal judge has ruled it was illegal for the Trump administration to cancel hundreds of NIH research grants. U.S. District Judge William Young in Massachusetts said the process was arbitrary and capricious, and that it didn't follow long-held government rules and standards when it abruptly canceled the grants they deemed focused on gender identity or DEI. Young has said the funding must be returned, but the administration is able to appeal this ruling and likely will because of it, because that's what they do every time. This is great news for medical progress and so much more around the country. These cuts have had many impacts through, medical progress on, college labs and so many other labs throughout the country. So hopefully Trump doesn't get away with this one, but, I'm sure some courtroom will unfortunately come around and, say otherwise. But for now, this is a big win and a good one, especially for trans rights and DEI, of course. So, trans rights are humans' rights. Heck yeah. Anyways, had to get that one in there. A Minnesota shooter Minnesota shooter has been taken into custody. Holy. Vance Boyler, the man who authorities believe shot the two Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses, has been arrested and now faces charges for murder and attempt at murder. A law enforcement official said Boyler was taken into custody after being located in the woods near his home in Green Isle, Shelby County. The county sheriff's office wrote in a statement sharing images of his mugshot as well. The face of evil. After relentless and determined police work, the killer is now in custody. Thanks to the dedication of multiple agencies working together along with the support from the community, justice is one step closer. The manhunt lasted 36 hours, according to law enforcement officials, and according to Brooklyn Park Chief Mark Burley, was the largest manhunt in state history, which is pretty cool. I knew he'd be in the forests. I called that yesterday. I'm way too good at predicting those things, or anything for that matter. It is really scary how good I am at making predictions. But, that's a different topic for another time. Congrats to law enforcement for capturing this criminal. I'm super excited to watch this court case and see how it plays out. Because, two lawmakers have been shot at. Two people have passed away, which is really unfortunate. And it was very clearly an attack based on political motives. So, it'll be definitely interesting to see how this one goes. And I wonder if this guy ever ends up getting a pardon from Mr. Trump. Imagine? Could you imagine? That would be crazy. That really would be. It really would be. Anyhow, moving into our final topic for the night, we have some really heartwarming news. I was really, really excited to hear about this topic. I really was. As kids are protesting ICE and Trump on Roblox. Genuinely, there are videos all over TikTok. it's so cool to me as someone who grew up playing Roblox. It is so cool to hear and see these children, protesting and being able to understand, how this is bad. So let's get into it. Children in Roblox are protesting against ICE and the Trump administration with videos on Roblox, with videos surfacing all over TikTok, with players holding signs with anti-Trump and ICE slogans behind what appears to be police barricades. Players used the game Brookhaven, a popular Roblox game, and had signs and phrases saying "F you ICE, Viva Mexico," and "ICE out of California," and so much more. Other players have started pretending to be ICE agents as well, walking around the protesters and watching protesters. This is really, really crazy, and honestly heartwarming for me. I remember coming home from school every day and getting on Roblox and playing Roblox, playing Meep City. I don't think anyone will get that, but hopefully somebody will. Um, you know, truly a such a big part of my childhood was playing Roblox. And seeing this really genuinely warms my heart. It's crazy to see that so many kids are not only able to understand the situation, but use a video game to protest it as well. I mean, that's smart. It really is. Like, genuinely. Never in a million years did I think, the Lego block game I played in middle school would be used for this, but I might have to attend the next one. I mean, genuinely, I'm really interested in this. So maybe I'll make a little gaming YouTube video, and I'll go around um, looking at the protests. Maybe I'll talk to some Roblox users. I don't know yet, but that's really it. Genuinely, is so cool to me to hear this. You know, as somebody who grew up, playing Roblox, for kids to be able to not only use such a important game really for gaming as a whole, but to be able to use the game to use their voice, speak out for what they believe is correct, and be able to understand the situation and why it's bad is, holy fly, not only so cool but so interesting. And I love it. I really do. I hope we see more of it, truly. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. It's been a pretty solid day for me overall, so I hope you guys had a solid one as well. If you're on YouTube, please consider subscribing, dropping a comment, dropping a like down below. We're on our way to 500 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me get there. 500 subscribers by the end of the summer, hopefully, but we'll see. If you're on Substack, please consider pledging your support. All funds go to me. They'll help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like food, clothing, all those sorts of things. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. Truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. Later.